everybody, this is Jonathan Gorman from iCreative, and today we're going to talk about organizing photos. We're going to talk about some of the features that you can use on iPhone and iPad OS, and then we're also going to talk about organizing them on a Mac. Usually I'm going to recommend that the heavy lifting that you do in terms of organizing is going to be done on a Mac using the Photos program because it's a little bit more robust and a much easier interface to deal with to see all of your photos. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do sort of a couple of the basic functions on iPhone now. So in iPhone, I'm going to tap on the Photos program. And you'll notice at the bottom I've got Library in the bottom left, I've got For You, I've got Albums, and then I've got Search. On the left, I'm going to tap on Library, and that's just going to reveal every single photo that I have. To the right of that is For You, which is going to have all these wonderful interpretations of my life and neat photos of where I've been and what I've been doing. And then Albums shows me these individual containers that I've created to organize my photos. And albums are the main way that you're going to organize photos on iPhone, iPad, or Mac. And folders actually contain albums, and the albums contain photos. So what does that mean? Well, folders on a Mac, you'll see, it's very easy to see on Mac, is a container that contains your separate albums. So as an example, we will make a folder called Travel, and inside of it, we will put individual albums that sort of reflect the work that we've been doing on each of these trips. So I'm going to click on the word Edit, and I'm going to delete my two previous folders that are called Travel. And then on the top left, I'm going to click on plus to create a brand new one so we can start fresh. I tap on the word New Folder, the icon for New Folder, and call this Travel, and then click on Save. And of course, it's blank, and it's just got the 4 tiles. And now what I need to do is tap on that particular folder once I've selected Done. So Done is going to save that new folder as an organizational entity, but as you can see, it's absolutely empty. I tap on Travel, and then I click on Edit in the top right, and I'm going to click on the plus button. Now I could create additional subfolders. So if I wanted to do Travel, then I might have a folder called USA, another folder called Europe, and maybe another one called Asia, or split it into different subcategories. Today we're going to keep it simple, and we're just going to make a couple of albums really quickly. So I'm going to tap on the word New Album, and we're going to call this Desert. And I'm going to click on Save. Now we have a completely empty album, so it's asking us to add a couple of photos. A couple of neat tricks on iPhone. Yes, I can tap on them individually, but did you know that you can also swipe across multiple photos and it will select all of them at once? That's pretty handy. Now I only really need 2 or 3 of these images, so I'm going to unselect anybody that has a check, and I'm just going to leave it to these 2, and then I'm going to click on the word Done. And what I've done now is I've created a new album inside a folder called Travel that says Desert, and there are 2 photos inside of it. If I'd like to, I could tap on plus, New Album, and this time I'm going to call this one Los Angeles, and click Save. And same kind of behavior, hey, show us some photos from LA. And so I'm going to select this panoramic, I'm going to select this golf course, and I'm going to select the Big Sur, just as an example. And I'm just cruising around my photos, scrolling through all of them to determine which ones I'd like to add. And then I'm going to tap on Done in the top right. So those are really the building blocks for arranging and organizing your photos on iPhone. And there are some other really neat features I'd like to talk about quickly as well. So I'm going to tap on Done. If I tap on the top left, that's going to take me back out to my albums. There's some other really neat features that are in here by default. I'm going to tap on the word Albums top left to back out one more level. If I wanted to see all of my albums, I just would tap on See All just beneath where it says, And I can scroll through all the various folders and albums in one scrolling list. Shared albums are how we take containers of photos and share them with loved ones so that they can also be adding their experiences from maybe the same trip to that same container. It's a lot of fun. As I scroll down, I can also see that there are people and there are places. And these features are really a lot of fun. If I tap on people, this is going to show me members of my family. And as I cruise through, there's a bunch of my friends that it's automatically scanned their faces, and it doesn't really know who these people are. And so I can tap on this one right here, and that's my friend Lex. And so to tap on add name would be the place where I would go. Oops. To punch in Lex. And then tap next. And then done. Now it's going to cruise through all of my years of my friendship with Lex and determine all kinds of photos where he and I are in the photo together or where he's featured. In the top left, I'm going to back out a level. And at the top, you'll notice that I've already got a handful of family members and friends. In the bottom, I've got all these photos of people that have been identified, but we don't really know who these people are. So I'm going to tap on Rick Aoyama from my team here at iCreative. And it selects Rick and I, and of course I can click on Add Name. And just like that, I can even select him from my contacts if I'd like, and say Next. And done. If I click on Show More just beneath that, it'll show me more images of Rick and his wedding. And that's a really powerful feature, really handy to have at your disposal. So People is a neat way to instantly kind of organize photos, and if you need to do a search for someone, you can search by their name, and everywhere where they appear in all of your photos, the photos analytics are really, really strong and very powerful. A really neat feature as well to use that's kind of automatic is Places. If I tap on Places, believe it or not, it shows me a map of the world and all of these places where I've taken images. And if I start scrolling in, it even grows. So I've done a handful of photos across the states. As I travel, I can't help myself but just jump out of the car and take beautiful pictures of places. And so as you cruise around, I've got quite a few photos of places. Let's say I wanted to go and look at some of my photos from Tokyo. So I'm just going to kind of pinch to zoom out. And the farther I go, the more that it kind of generalizes my photos. And I'm going to go over here. Well, there's Honolulu. Got to keep going. And now we're going to kind of zoom in toward Tokyo. And lots of photos from when I was on tour there as a musician. So there's photos from all over the place. And now as I start to zoom into Tokyo, there's going to be different parts of Tokyo where there's tons of different memories. And let's say I want to kind of focus in on these 4 right here. I can just tap on that image. And instantly it picks up on a place that I was playing and the musicians that I was hanging out with that night. And really, really powerful features here. I'm just kind of zooming into the world to figure out exactly where a lot of these memories were. We've got some really funny photos of us all hanging out at dinner. It's a lot of fun when you go out to dinner in Tokyo. A lot of times the restaurants will kind of become one big party. It's a lot of fun. So this Places feature, I want you to get in and kind of play with it. I'm just zooming around, and I'm able to see that as I scroll in more closely to certain parts of town. I lived in Tokyo for about 4 years, which is why there's photos everywhere. But now as I zoom out, I'm able to just jump back over to the United States really quickly and really easily just by pinching and zooming. And this time we're going to go over to Europe. And let's go to Paris. And all I'm doing to do this is to, like, here's some photos from the Louvre. And so I'm going to tap on the one that says 4 toward the top here. And now I can see these wonderful photos that I took at the Louvre on May 22nd, 2019. So get in there and play with the Places feature, because I think you'll find a lot of great value there. And last but not least, we've got media types. So what's really great about iPhone, iPad is that you're able to, without doing anything special, you're able to automatically have the type of photo, whether it's video or a panoramic or a portrait or even a selfie, it's identified. And so if you can scroll through this list, you can tap on just panoramics as an example. And all of the panoramic photos that you've taken over the years will show up in a single list. It's a very, very powerful feature. Backing out to albums one more time, I can look at all my burst photos, my screenshots, screen recordings, or even photos that were taken in RAW. So get in and play with this program a little bit, and I think you'll find incredible value in what it already is doing for us automatically. I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great day.